It all started in the early morning hours of June 17th, nearly a year ago, when on the 6th floor of the building behind me, 5 men with electronic gear were caught in the offices of the Democratic National Committee. The building is a luxurious apartment hotel complex, a building which has apartments which sell for nearly $250,000. The building is called the Watergate, and it has given its name to an ever-widening, complicated, and fascinating bit of American current political history, the Watergate bugging case. Like the name well before the American political conventions of last summer and the one-sided 1972 presidential election, President Nixon won easily, with or without or despite Watergate. In the building were finally brought to trial, and with 2 others either pleaded or were found guilty. These included James McCord, Jr., a veteran of 19 years with the CIA and former security chief of the Nixon Re-Election Committee. He was caught in the building with 4 members of the Miami, Florida Cuban community, Frank Sturgis, Bernard Varker, Eugenia Martinez, and Virgilio Gonzalez. 2 former White House aides, Gordon Liddy and Howard Hunt, also were implicated and found guilty. Hunt was another former CIA man, the official in charge of the CIA's ill-fated Bay of Pigs operation in Cuba in 1961. But as the case progressed, it became obvious that there were higher-ups, men who ordered the bugging operations and who paid for it. Slowly, the story has expanded, and now it takes a scorecard to keep track of those connected with it in one way or another. Here's in the case is former Attorney General John Mitchell, who worked here at the Justice Department. Mitchell quit his post as Attorney General to take over as head of President Nixon's Election Campaign Committee. He quit that job just 1 week after the Watergate buggers were discovered. Richard Kleindienst, the current Attorney General, had trouble winning Senate confirmation because of his role in investigating the Watergate case, and particularly because of his connections with high Republicans. But he finally made it. But another Watergate investigation now has switched to the federal grand jury in Washington. One by one, the high and the mighty and the former high and the mighty of the Nixon administration are being called to testify. These include Mitchell, perhaps White House Chief of Staff H.R. Haldeman, and a number of Haldeman's proteges, including such former and present White House figures as Dwight Chapin, Jeb Magruder, White House counsel John Dean, Nixon's personal attorney Herbert Kalmbach, Gordon Strachan, Robert Reisner, former Commerce Secretary Maurice Stans, and many others. Some of what has happened before the grand jury, whose deliberations theoretically are secret, has leaked out. Much more is likely to be known next month when a select committee of U.S. senators open public hearings on the Watergate case. Legal finality to Watergate, it may likely occur here in this gray building, the District of Columbia Court building in Washington. It is here where the grand jury is hearing secret testimony. And it is here where further criminal trials, if any indictments are returned, are likely to be held. But whatever the outcome, the Watergate case has captured the attention of the world and is likely to keep that attention for many more months to come. This is Paul Sisco in Washington.